Hare Krishna, a very warm welcome to all the devotees to our program of Srimad Bhagavatam study. In this part of the class of Srimad Bhagavatam study, we are doing a Shloka memorization workshop. This is part of our program, larger program, Srimad Bhagavatam study. So in this particular program, we provide the opportunity to the class participants to memorize the Shloka. We give them a week to practice and memorize Shloka, and then come to the class prepared, present their recitation of the Shloka, explain the word meanings, explain the translation, and little bit about the words. So that's how we are trying to deepen our understanding of Srimad Bhagavatam. So like Srimad Bhagavatam in the beginning, it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam that it is Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. Pibata. So it has to be relished. It has to be drunk like a very nectarian sweet juice, like tastefully. So memorizing the shlokas, having a deeper connection with the shlokas actually really help relish Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is overall our 29th class. Today we are going to discuss the 16th verse of the first canto of the 9th chapter. We will start with a little Mangalacharan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Nashtaprayashva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Okay, so you can see the words getting displayed on your screen right now. So in one word or in one line, short phrase, if we want to summarize this verse, so how we can do that? Lord's plan is inconceivable. So I will just recite once and then we will give it to the devotees to practice recitation in the class. Nayasya karhichid rajan kuman veda viditsitam yad vijjigyasaya yukto muhyanti kavayopihi yad vijjigyasaya yukta muhyanti kavayopihi. So with that we give the opportunity to the devotees. I see many devotees joining us. So we start with Rakesh ji. Rakesh ji, over to
Yes,
you.
Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Srimad Bhagavatam 1.9.16. Nahi yasya karhi chidrajan puman veda viditsitam yad vijigyasaya yukta kavayopi muhyanti kavayopihi.
Yeah. Once again.
Nahi yasya karhi chidrajan puman veda viditsitam yad vijigyasaya yukta muhyanti kavayopihi.
Very nice. Excellent. Yes, Prabhu. Please proceed to the next part. Word meanings.
Nahi yasya karhi chid rajan. Rajan, O king, karhi chid whatsoever. Chid rajan. Puman veda vidichitam. Vidichitam plan. Puman anyone. Veda knows. No one knows the plans of the Lord. His plans. Yad vijigyasaya. Vijigyasaya. Exhausted in inquiries. In inquiring exhaustively, Yukta, being engaged,
Hmm.
Muyanti, bewildered,
Hmm.
Kaviyo, great philosophers, even.
Even. Hmm.
So, O king, Bhishma says, O king, no one can know the plans of the Lord. Even the great philosophers who engage exhaustively are bewildered.
Very nice. Yes. Yes, Prabhu. So,
So,
word meanings is very nicely explained. Yes, Prabhu. Now, what to do more? Anything you would like to say? Maybe 2-3 lines.
so in the past, in verse 14, we saw that when King Yudhishthir goes to the battlefield to meet Bhishma, after being disturbed for so many days, Bhishma says that it is the effect of inevitable time. In verse number 15, he says that the effect of inevitable time is irreversible, and it is irreversible. Otherwise, how it can be that there are reverses, even being in the presence of Yudhishthira, the incarnation of Dharma himself, Bhima with the club, and Arjuna with Gandhi, and Krishna being friendly with them. And he also tells that the Supreme Call has two things. It consists of two things mainly. One type of if one is averse to Lord Krishna, then it is like death. It is death for them. And if one is devotee, it means Krishna and moving to Krishna. In this verse number 16, he is giving his final conclusion that no one can understand the plan of the Lord.
Yes, Prabhu. Very nice.
And one more.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay. I think you made it very clear.
And Yudhishthir should not lament it. Lord wanted to do something to this world, and he acted through you. Lord wanted to establish the kingdom of virtue, and he acted through you. So there is no cause of lamentation. You don't think that it is because of your karma or past deeds that you are suffering. Your sufferings are because of inevitable time.
Correct.
And Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that even Bhishma, a great warrior and a devotee of the Lord, could not win the battle because he was with vice, and Lord wanted to show that vice cannot conquer the virtue. So, however, who is trying to execute it? So, on the one hand, Pandavas were suffering. Pandavas, being a great devotee, suffered, and on the other hand, Bhishma Dev could not win. So this shows that the plan of the Lord are bewildering. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Rakeshji. Thank you very much for your effort reciting, explaining, remembering the word meanings, and so on. So very nice. We also discussed about this topic in the previous class, the verse number 14. So it is very similar. It's an extension of that same discussion. So now we move to Jivan Radha Prabhu. Prabhuji, your turn. Please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9, text number 16. This is the Lord's inconceivable plan. Nahyasya karishchit rajan puman veda viditsitam Divijnasaya Yukta Yukta Mukhyanti Kavayorapi. I will repeat it, Prabhu.
Yeah,
Kavayorapi.
No, no. Kavayopi.
Kavayopi. Nahi
Kavayopi.
Asya Karhichit Rajan Puman Veda Vijisitam Devi Jigshasaya Yukta Muhyanti Kavayo Api Hi.
So the second line is Yad Vijjigyasaya Yukta.
Yat Vijjigyasaya. Yat Vijjigyasaya.
Yad Vijjigyasaya Yukta Muhyanti Kavayopi. Very nice. Okay. Good.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhu. Next stage.
Word by word meaning. Na means never. He is certainly. Asya means lords. His. Karhichit means whatsoever. Puman means anyone. Veda means no. Vidisitam is the plan. Yat again, yat vi jignasaya. Yat means which again. Again, this is a sort of a pronoun. Vi jignasaya means with exhaustive inquiries. Yukta means engaged. Muhyanti, they get, bewildered. Kavayo api. Kavayo api means even the great philosophers, he certainly. This is the meaning of that. And the general, this thing is Rajan, here the first line, Rajan, O king, Asya Viditsitam. Asya Viditsitam means is Viditsam is plan. Karhichit Puman Nahi Veda. He means certainly, Karhichit Puman Na Veda. Certainly, even great philosophers cannot know it. After that is that this thing.
Yad Vijjigyasaya.
Yeah, Vijjigyasaya means after exhaustive inquiries also, and Mukhyanti Kavayorapi, he means even though great philosophers, Vijjigyasaya means exhaustive inquiries, Yukta means engage. Even after getting engaged in exhaustive inquiries, they cannot, the Mukhyanti means they get believer because they cannot understand, it is Lord's plan. The thing is, even though the great philosophers inquire exhaustively, they get bewildered. It's all Lord's plan.
Very nice. Yes.
This is that this thing. Of course, whatever I wanted to tell the points, is that of course Rakesh Prabhu has told, but still whatever I have made some notes, I will just try to from that. In this, actually, this context, in the context is coming from chapter 9. This is chapter 9 actually describes about the passing away of Bhishma Deva in Kurukshetra war. When Pandavas, when Pandavas visit Bhishma Deva, he receives them, he encourages them, he pacifies them. And last Sunday's class, we studied Shloka number 14, in which Bhishma Deva pacifies Pandavas, Yudhishthira and all that, saying that everything, all that has happened, all the destruction which has happened is due to the inevitable time. Actually, that is also given in the Bhagavad Gita also, there is a reference. Lord says, Kalo Asmi Lokakshaya Krit Pravriddho. That is Bhagavad Gita chapter number 11:32. Kalo Asmi. I am the inevitable time, the time factor. And I cause the destruction. And he said, Bhishma says, don't worry, it is all not about, not due to karmic reaction. In verse 15, how can these reverses can happen in the presence of Yudhishthira, the son of Dharma, Bhishma, the holder of a club, Arjuna, the holder of Gandiva, and in spite of Lord Krishna, who is a friend, well-wishing friend. All these things are there. How can this can happen? And the explanation is given. Actually, verse 14 says that the reverses were caused by time. That is what we studied in the last class. But how could time attract the Pandavas who were filled with dasya, Sakya, this is given in Subodhini. I have just taken the point from Subodhini. With Dasya Rasa, Sakya Rasa, and Vatsalya Rasa, all these things are all happening in Pandava's family. With all that, how can these reversals can happen? Which is really astonishing. The reversals appear like the effects of, and it is not due to the, not to the effects of karma. It is all due to Lord's plan. This is what is being explained in, that is the solution given by Bhishma Deva in verse number 16. It's not due to karmic, it is all Lord's plan. This is what is the thing which is given there. And I have made a note of the 2 points of your class notes. No one can know Lord's plan. The Prabhupada's purpose, 2 points are given. I will just read out. The sufferings of the Pandavas were never due to their past deeds. The Lord had to execute the plan of establishing the kingdom of virtue, and therefore his own devotees suffered temporarily. Even though his own devotees suffered temporarily, because he established the conquest of virtue, Lord had this plan. Second point is, even a great fighter and a devotee like Bhishma Deva could not win the battle of Kurukshetra because he was holding the side of the wrong people with vice. The Lord wanted to show that vice cannot conquer virtue regardless of who tries to execute it. These 2 points are actually, I want to just read out from his class notes what you have already explained. This is what I have to say here, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Very nice. Yes, very good. Okay, so now we go to, I think Jayamala Mataji also may want to present. Mataji, may we give the opportunity to you?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Srimad Bhagavatam 1.9.16 Nahi asya karhi chitrajan puman veda viditsitam yad vijjignasaya yukta muhyanti kavayopihi.
Very nice. Yes. Okay. Yes, please, Mataji. The word meanings?
Na means never. He is certainly. Asya is his. Karhichit is whatsoever. Rajan, O king. Puman. Puman is anyone. Veda, knowledge. Viditsitam is plan. Yat vijjigyasaya, it means exhaustive enquiries. Yukta is being engaged. Muhyanti is bewildered. And Kaviyopihi is the great philosophers. This is Bhishma Dev's final conclusion, where he says that no one can understand the plan of the Lord. It's not that nobody has tried to understand. He says that even the great philosophers, they have made exhaustive inquiries into understanding the plan of the Lord, but they have failed. They are bewildered. And here the used is Muhyanti. And I was just remembering that the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam says Muhyanti yat surayaha. That is the devils themselves are bewildered. The Lord himself in the Bhagavad Gita, he says Name vidu sura suragana. That is even the hosts of sages or and demigods do not understand my origin. The Lord himself has confirmed it. And both the devotees have nicely explained that we see here that Bhishma Dev as well as the Pandavas, they were the pure devotees of the Lord, but they both had to suffer. Pandavas suffered all through their lives, and Bhishma Dev, in spite of being a great warrior, he could not win in the battle of Kurukshetra. So the Lord's plans are indeed bewildering, And as they have already explained that the Pandavas suffered temporarily because Lord wanted to establish dharma on this earth, and Bhishma Dev, he could not win because Lord wanted to show that if you take the side of irreligion, even if you are a very great warrior, you will not be able to win. So we see here that in pure devotees' life, the reversals which come, they are not due to karma, but the Lord is executing His plan through His pure devotees. The pure devotees act as instruments, or they are the agents of the Lord. The Lord wants to execute some plan. He has some plan, and the pure devotees are His agents through which he establishes His plan. For me, Prabhuji, the personal application point could be is that in our life also, no doubt, we also face a lot of reversals or challenging situations, as as is the way of material world. Surprises there, but during those situations, instead of going into a mental loop where we keep on repeating that why did this happen to me, why is God so unkind to me, why is He not helping me, instead of that, if we can if we can just accept and acknowledge the fact that God's ways and His plans are always higher than us, we will not be able to know. And are just as instruments in His hands. And then instead of going into a complaining mood, if we can focus on whatever remedial steps we can take and implement as much as possible, then definitely this will help us. So that is personal application point. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Mataji, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very nicely presented. So again, this verse has a close connection with the verse that we discussed last time. In the previous class, the verse was Sarvam Kal Kritam Manye. So when Yudhishthir is bewildered, he is very lamenting, then Lord Krishna takes Yudhishthir Maharaj to Bhishma Dev, and Bhishma Dev answers him. He answers that it is all due to inevitable time, my dear son. Now here, inevitable time could mean a couple of things. Time actually could mean destruction, time could mean karma, time could also mean Lord's plan. So when he, in the 14th verse, when he says, Sarvam Kal Kritam Manye, whatever unpleasant things have happened in your life, it is all because of Sarvam Kal Kritam. ये सब काम काल कर रहा है, समय कर रहा है. So it may not be very clear in the 14th verse, but then in the 15th verse, he starts to mention that if it is karma, my dear Yudhishthir, then how come Lord is standing on your side? How come this Gandiv Dhari Arjun is with you? How come this Gadadhar Bhim is with you? You yourself is a Dharmaraj. So you are endowed with so much attributes, so much accomplishments even in this life, that the Lord personally Himself is with you. So it cannot be karma. It has to be Lord's plan. There is only one thing that can explain what is unpleasant happening in your life, is only because it is orchestrated by the Lord. In the 15th verse, it becomes clear, and then in the 16th verse, it becomes absolutely clear when he says that Lord's plan cannot be understood by even great philosophers. Yad vid jigyasaya. So not only jigyasa, but vid jigyasaya. Vid jigyasaya means vishesh jigyasa. Jigyasa means inquiry, but vid jigyasa means exhaustive inquiry. Vishesh, special inquiry. So even trying out hard, they cannot make out of your plan. They cannot understand what is going on. Now, Jayamala Mataji also related to this verse, connecting it with her own personal life. This particular verses, this set of series of verses 14, 15 and 16 is actually mainly to explain that there is no karma in the pure devotee's life. It is mainly the will of the Lord that acts. So, if we want to connect this verse mainly for our own life, then there is a different verse in Srimad Bhagavatam which we should connect in our own life. So, because generally we are not in the category of pure devotees, we are in the category of practicing devotees. So, in the life of practicing devotees, the upheavals that come is actually mainly because of our own past karma. So, in our case, it is Lord's plan in the sense that because He has made this arrangement of karma, etc. So, because of that Lord's arrangement, we have to undergo through those trials and tribulations because of our own past karma. So, in our case, we need to understand that it is mainly because of our karma, and we need to tolerate the difficult times that we are facing. And if we continue to tolerate while continue to practice pure devotional service, the Lord will be very much pleased by our karma. So there's a subtle difference between applying this verse to our own life versus applying this verse to a pure devotee's life. So these verses are mainly, say, applicable mainly to devotees like Srila Prabhupada or maybe our Guru Maharajas who are pure devotees. So we can say that like in Prabhupada's life also there were many upheavals, but those were mainly because of Lord's plan. We cannot say that in our life, if upheavals are there, the Lords are actually orchestrating anything. In general, I'm saying, at least I can say it for myself. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, there's another verse, I think it is in maybe later on in 10th canto or maybe some other canto, where Sadaya
Yes.
Bhag.
Tatte anukampa
Tatte anukampan susukshmano. And then it ends with Sadaya Bhag. So that actually means that we continue to tolerate the pangs of these karmic reaction while sincerely, dedicatedly continue to engage ourselves in the devotional service of the Lord. Then we will be Daya Bhag. Now, Daya Bhag means what? Daya Bhag is actually referring to a son who continues to serve his parents throughout his life. And since he continues to serve his parents throughout his life, in the end, when the parents pass away, then the inheritance of the parents are naturally moved to the son. So the son does not have to make any special endeavor for that. Continue to just be faithful, loyal to his parents. The parents will pass on the inheritance to the son. That is something how it works like. So there's a little subtle difference here, but we can still say that sarvam kal kritam manye. So whatever is happening is actually happening because of time. Now, is it happening because of karma or is it happening because of the Lord's plan? Depends. If it is a pure devotee, it is Lord's plan. If it is a normal devotee or a sadhaka practicing devotee, it is karma. But we need to tolerate our karmic reactions while dedicatedly, sincerely practice our devotional service. So I think that is all with this. So our three devotees who are mostly regular in reciting and remembering, we have covered. Is there any other devotee who would like to try reciting? We have a little time here today because our next class is reading class. That is not going to be as long as our regular class. So we can take maybe 1 or 5 minutes more if people want. So anyone would like to also recite? Okay. If there is no one, then we conclude this class. Once again, I will display this verse in front of you on the screen. This is what we discussed today. And in the end, we would like to thank everyone for all the wonderful effort. Rakesh ji, Jivan ji, and Jaimala Mataji. Thank you very much. And all glories to Srimad Bhagavatam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. So we move to our next class from now.